Here is some of the gear I'd take out if I was going camping. Probably a 1-2 nighter camping trip for this one. The food I'd take my esky or some dehydrated stuff or some canned stuff. Generally when I go out there's towns I can go through on the way if I'm passing through, and I'll just grab stuff as I go. All the essentials there: knives, first aid kit. I've got all my hammock gear in there. Water, I'll take water bottles. Generally I'll take 2 or 3 water bottles, and I've also got a backpack bladder system, 3 litres in there. Extra fuel if I need it. I've got a roto packs or bladders, and I've got a couple of little 2 litre containers. I actually prefer the little 2 litre containers. With this bike I don't need to worry too much. It's got really good range. If I was going across Australia or something like that, it'd be a different story. But same with the load that I'd be putting on. I take lights. I've got a little umbrella there. I've got a power bank. I generally keep that charged. Bit of chain lube. I've got a tube there, and on this bike I've got a tube in the front but tubeless rear. It's the front rims, actually one of the spokes has got loose and it's actually caused a leak in the front rim. That's why it's got a tube in it. I've got a little compressor there and a tyre repair kit, and I've got a little set of tools as well. So depending what I'm eating will depend how much stuff I take. For this one I've just got a little burner and a little fry pan. I take a tarp for the ground, a pair of sunnies, and that's really all I'd... Now I've got the bike loaded, probably typically with what I'd have for a 2-night camp. I've got Nelson rig gear, adventure gear. I brought this back in Western Australia, back in Perth, before I came to Queensland. I've used the saddlebags a fair bit, but I haven't used the top bag at all. It is a little bit big. I think I'd probably use my Krieger bags instead if I was doing it normally. But just for this ride, it's just sort of a break-in test ride. Always have my sunnies handy. I don't usually ride with them. Krieger tank bag. I've got the small one here. This is just a 5 litre bag. This is where I put my essentials. My tools, I'd usually put them on the bars, but with this bike I'm going to have enough room in the luggage. I've sort of stuffed it at the moment with stuff, but I could put everything on the back. It's just heavy. But when I had my enduro bikes, these sort of became, I've got 2 of these, one each side, they became saddlebags over the tank, and that's where I put the heavy stuff. And all the light stuff like my hammock and stuff like that always went on the back. So yeah, sort of not too bad a setup. It secures on really nice and tight. The good thing about this Krieger tank, you can get to your fuel tank. Even on the enduro bikes you can get into your fuel tank, your fuel cap with this on. That's a 5 litre. When I was riding with my enduro bike I had this bigger bag on the tank, the 10 litre. Just put soft stuff in there, but you could just peel it back to get to the tank. Lovely morning out here in the Bowen Basin. Found a couple of trees are about the right distance apart. So I'll get to work and set the hammock up and we'll have a look at what it looks like. So this is the hammock setup. My hammock came with a separate mosquito net, but you can buy all sorts of hammocks out there with built-in mosquito nets. I brought from a company called Hammock Bliss. There are better ones out there, well, better opinion ones. I brought this because it was readily available in Australia, and it was fairly cheap. So when I bought the hammock, it came with bark protectors or tree protectors, so straps. Tie your hammock on. Make sure you've got knots that aren't going to pull tight that you can't undo them, because this has your full body weight on it. The hammock I brought has a little sleeve in it. Sleeve here, and in there is the self-inflating mattress. When you lie on the hammock crossways like this, you tend to get quite a flat lay. If you lay on the line of the hammock, you'd have that hollow like you would do on your sort of backyard garden. If you've got a hammock at home, just try it. Just try lying sideways, push it out. You'll see you'll get a flat lay. Now when I go camping, I also have a tarp that I would put up over the whole lot. Now the tarp I've got comes from a company called Terra Rosa Gear from Tasmania. Very lightweight, sort of parachute silky sort of thing. And I brought this an extra large tarp. When I brought this hammock, it came with a tarp. It was a little bit too small, so that's an extra large tarp. It's got more tie-on points, so you can actually pull it and shape it a little bit better. And if I really had to, I could stick the motorbike under it as well. Tarp's very handy, and it seems like I attract rain every time I go out. It seems to have a little bit of rain. No downpours yet, but yeah, it works. It's just a soothing sound, the rain on the tarp. Now also, these are made out of parachute silk. The self-inflating mattress I have in there is insulated, but when you're sleeping on it, if you tend to touch this, the cold comes straight through. So I've got a top quilt. I brought that from Enlightened Equipment in America. It's very good, probably about 400 grams. It's a little bit like a sleeping bag, but it doesn't fully enclose, or you can have it as a blanket. So that goes on top, and then underneath I brought this from another Tasmanian company, Terra Gear. Now this is a bottom quilt, or an under blanket they might call it. It's not full body, it's about torso length, and this clips on the side and wraps around your body in here, so that when you're falling out, you well, basically creates a cocoon of warmth. It works really good. I've been into freezing weather with that. It's perfect, no dramas. Without the bottom quilt, I'm good for about 10 degrees. Then it becomes annoying during the night if I happen to roll off the edge of the mattress. Just here I also have a pillow, just a bit of a creature comfort. Trees need to be roughly the right width. There's plenty around here, but it is an issue with the hammocks. I can lay on the ground if I had to. I just got to get some sticks and stuff to keep the tarp off me, build a bit of a bivouac. I can even use the motorbike to build a bivouac if I wanted to, tie off on that. So that's about. Now this is my hammock. I've got it laid out on the floor. I'll just show you how it sort of works, just the ropes and straps there. The one I've brought is a company called Hammock Bliss. There's plenty out there to choose from. I chose this one, it was cheaper. It was my first time hammock camping, and it was available sort of straight away. I think Australian stock from memory. I've got a mountain designed self-inflating mattress. Now with the hammock, you sleep across the hammock, it gives you more of a flat lay. For this one, it has a little pouch that the self-inflating mattress slides into, and got a little lip here that I can tuck it all in with. I usually go in the other way so that the valve's up the top end there, and then when it's strung out, you lay flat on that. Look, if I had my way, I'd probably make this little pouch a little bit wider, maybe a bigger hammock for myself when I'm not using any of my under blankets. If your arms and legs tend to roll onto this stuff, you feel the cold, whatever's around. Rightio, in regards to weight and price, everything I've got comes to about 2.2, so that's everything I need to set up and camp. That's including some lightweight stakes to put in the ground. You can always find trees or something to tie it to anyway. Everything you see here, plus my top quilt, and all my ropes and stuff, which are ultra lightweight anyway. Cost wise, to a top quality lightweight tent and a top quality mattress, it's roughly 80% of the cost. I haven't gone their most expensive hammock either, so it's probably like for like, all in all, with weight and cost. And it really depends on your budget and what you want to do, what sort of bike you're going to use for your trip. I've got to say, if I was travelling around Australia and camping all the time, I would probably go a tent over a hammock. So all packed up and about to head off. Generally with the hammock camping, it's low footprint left, which I do like, but having said that, with the tent, usually you can find a cleared area that you're not going to disturb too much. But that's done, bike's repacked. We'll head back for home and have some breakfast. Walking their dog over there. They're being lazy, the dog's doing the walking.